pay a dime, never has. And still don't to this day. He has never done nothing for me. Now he's playing the good husband to another girl when I'm his wife.
Mr. Stanley, you made a request of me to have your girlfriend speak for you. Hello, Mrs. Toler. How are you?
Let me stand here.
No. You may run him, but you don't run my courtroom. You stand right where you're supposed to.
She's the judge who gives rules on the law and life. She's intense with common sense. She's Judge Lynn Toler, where real couples deal with real life. Divorce Court.
Mr. Stanley, you have brought your wife, Mrs. Stanley, here, asking that she pay you $175, which is half of the amount you say it costs because of an eviction. And Mrs. Stanley, you want from Mr. Stanley some personal items, some keepsakes, some pictures, and some baby things that you say he's keeping and simply won't give back to you. And I would like to acknowledge that I do have in the courtroom Ms. Veronica Fuller. She's your girlfriend. And Mrs. Stanley, why don't you tell me what happened, what went wrong, and how we've ended up in divorce court today?
He told me at my mother's funeral that he was in love with my sister. And I just put her in the ground.
I'd like my girlfriend to speak with me.
I'm going to ask you to man up for a minute before we do that.
Thank you.
And ask you, did you really, at her mother and sister's funeral?
And aunt.
And aunt. So you had 3 people die at the same time.
Yeah.
In an accident.
In a car accident.
In a car accident. And at the funeral or after the funeral on the same day?
At the funeral.
Huh?
At the funeral.
At the funeral.
Yeah.
At the
but
funeral
my father
home.
died in an accident too.
Oh, now you want to talk. At the funeral, he said he was in love with your sister.
Yes.
Mr. Stanley, what's your version of that event?
She's lying.
Okay, what's your version of that event?
That never happened then.
So, in the papers that you gave to me, in which you said, at the funeral, I confessed to her that I had slept with her sister that had died, you were not telling me the truth.
No, I had said that that's what she had been saying.
That's not what you said. I can read. I was ready to leave, and I just wanted to tell her everything and make a clean break.
No.
So we got that wrong.
Yes.
The staff got that wrong.
Yes.
You told her later.
Yes.
Why'd you tell her at all?
Had to be said.
No, it didn't. It made you feel good, right?
Hurting me
You were
always
hurting
makes
her.
me feel good.
And that's what you did, right? Because the sister was already dead, right?
I was ready to leave her.
Mr. Stanley, you made a request of me to have your girlfriend speak for you. Why?
I think he's scared of me.
Mrs. Stanley, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him.
Because they're always fighting anyway, so.
Hello, Mrs. Fuller. How are you?
Let me stand here.
No. You may run him, but you don't run my courtroom. You stand right where you're supposed to.
I don't run him.
Now, when did you and Mr. Stanley get involved?
A year and a half ago.
A year and a half ago. Did you know he was married?
Yes, but they had been separated for 5 years.
They had been separated for
Yes.
5 years.
They had been
Mrs. Stanley, were you and your husband separated for 5 years when you
Yes,
got
ma'am.
involved with her?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's why I'm his fiance.
When you met him, they were separated for 5 years.
No, when I met him, they were together. She was pregnant with their son. When I met him, me and him became best friends for 5 years.
So
Then-
there was no romance
No.
for those
Nothing.
5 years?
No.
When you decided to go from friends to romantic, how that happen?
A mutual friend of ours called us on three-way, and we started talking again. I went out of town to see him one weekend, and then we've just been together ever since.
Do you and she apparently do not get along?
No, because,
What is the problem? Who is the problem? And why is it a problem?
for one, my biggest problem is she's texting my man. And she thinks she's texting him, and she's texting me. She don't have his phone number.
Uh-huh.
I know who I'm texting.
No, you have
My
no clue.
understanding is
No, you
you
don't.
have the texts
Yes.
You have the texts?
I have some of them.
Some of them. Well, as many as you got. Now, Mrs. Stanley, are you texting him?
Oh, yeah.
And calling him at 1 o'clock in the
He
morning.
calls me, or he texts me and asks me what I feel, or how I feel about Ronnie.
No, that's not how it started, because I got the texts.
On a for real side, Mrs. Fuller, can you imagine being married and your husband is off with somebody else and you want him back? So she texted him, hey, she's not right for you. I still love you. Come on home. Do you find that conduct that outrageous?
Yes, because she's the one that threw their marriage away. It wasn't him.
How did she throw his marriage away?
By cheating on him. He couldn't stand the cheating. And she was the first one to
by
cheat.
telling me that she didn't want to be with me, that the only reason she was is because she needed somebody to take care of her kids, because she wouldn't. She don't get up till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
You have children, and you're also taking care of Mr. Stanley's children. How many children are involved?
We have 6 children together.
Okay.
I have 4 and he has 2.
2.
But I'm the one that takes care of them. I'm the one that feeds them. I'm the one that provides for. I mean, he provides for them,
I
but
tell her all the time she can come over, she can call, she can do whatever to see the boys, talk to them, whatever. She never makes an attempt, ever.
How come your children aren't with you?
Because I had a depression when I had my youngest.
Okay.
And I went to the hospital. The arrangement is that he was going to take care of them until I got back on my feet and give them back to me. When that time came, he told me no. He said CSB said you can't have them, which I found out was not only a lie, but never even came up. They asked me what I was talking about because they had no idea.
Okay. Now, if somebody had my children, I wouldn't take their word for them about anything. And if I wanted them back, courthouse would see me every day until the issue got resolved. How long have they had your children?
He's had them
Since
off and on for like 4 years.
Since David was born.
And you haven't been to
David
court
is 5.
yet?
No, because he told me he wouldn't keep them from me, and he is.
Okay, you don't need to help. You don't need to help your
need a
side.
lawyer.
She's killing herself all by herself.
He's telling me I don't need a lawyer because I don't need to go to court to get custody of my kids because he will handle it. We will work things out. We don't work anything out.
Do I look silly to you?
No.
For 4 years, he's telling you something about why you can't be with your kids, and you're going to continue, even if it's true, continue to believe it and not go to court. You don't want them. That's what that is.
I want
that
my
woman
kids. I want him
is
gone.
taking care of your kids. She's getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
taking care of hers.
No,
Give me a
CSB is not
break.
taking care of mine. I got mine, thank
no,
you.
4
She's not a
years,
good
and
mother
it's
at all.
his fault. You haven't gone
And
to
you're a
court to
horrible
see
husband.
your children. Good Lord of
I've had
mercy.
him since my youngest was 5
Ms.
years. I mean, since my 5-year-old was born.
Mrs. Stanley,
She
what
wants
you do
everything.
and what you say speaks
Keeley,
so
it's coming
differently.
between us is all it is.
The whole
is a
time I
man.
was married to him, he never had a job. He lived with my parents. My mom helped me with my kids.
If
She
I didn't
paid
ever
for
have a
my
job-
wedding. She paid for my wedding. He didn't pay a dime, never has. And still don't to this day. I paid off his bill so I could get my own phone turned on. He has never done nothing for me.
She is
Now
lying.
he's playing the good husband to another girl when I'm his wife.
What was your contribution to the
Oh,
disintegration
I
of
did
this
everything
union?
I could to take care of her and Christopher, which is my oldest. David wasn't born yet.
So you have no fault in this whatsoever?
Not until after she started cheating on me. Once I found out she started cheating on me, then I gave up.
Your response to that?
My
Who was
response,
cheating first? What happened?
I had girls come into my house telling me in front of my mom that he is cheating on me. That when he leaves, he's not leaving to go to work or to go hang out with his family. He's going to some chick's house.
Why would I? need
Because
to cheat
I'm
on
not
her?
good enough.
She says that you would leave the house in the morning, say you're going to work, and would go over some other woman's house. Did that ever
No.
happen?
Never.
Never, not one time.
Never, not one time.
She's making that up out of whole
Yes.
cloth.
Yes. Even after me and her got into it to where we were pretty much done with each other, just still together, I still did.
At what point did you decide, let's call it a day? You've been separated for a long time. Now you've decided to divorce. How'd that happen?
Pretty much after my dad died, I'd try and talk to her. She wouldn't. She would just push me aside. She'd, act like I wasn't there when, I needed somebody to talk to. I needed, and she just acted like she didn't care. So I was done.
What's your version of the final act?
I didn't push him away. He found out January 2nd that his dad had died.
She wasn't supportive of me at all.
And I understand because I just lost my mom. He went downstairs to her house to sleep with her friend.
No, I did not.
No, he did not.
Well, first thing y'all need to do, move to a bigger city. So you can find other people to date, because this is getting scary.
He never came there.
Tell me about the $175 that you're asking for, that you say is half of the monies you were out for an eviction.
We was getting evicted, and she had told me that she was going to help me pay it off.
Pay off what? I mean, is this how much you owed for rent?
Yes.
This was back rent?
Yes.
After you were evicted, and they went after you for back rent?
Right.
Okay. And you owed what, $350?
Well, he said that, yes. But he said that he wasn't going to take me to court if I could pay it off. She said she would help me pay it off.
Uh-huh.
She never helped me.
She never helped you. Did you pay it off?
Yes.
What do you have to say about the $175?
I don't owe him anything. If anything, he owes me. For the fact being, he promised my mom he would make sure I was taken care of, which never happened. He would make sure that me and Christopher were always taken care of, which never happened.
Christopher's taken care
He
of.
thinks now that he is playing the good husband that he can just do and say what he pleases.
You want some keepsakes, personal items, pictures, baby stuff? Tell me about that.
He has pictures. I don't even have any pictures of my youngest son from the time he was born because he has them all.
Mm-hmm.
When we split everything
His-
up...
Hey, just let her finish.
When I left, I took a book bag with me with just my clothes. I left everything there.
That day.
Do you have pictures of her mother?
I've got a few, yes. And I've got them for her, and she can have them.
Do you have them now?
Yes.
Do you have them here?
Yes.
Please. No reason for you to have them. You submitted them to the court, I understand.
Yes.
So I can take a look at them. Wedding pictures. Gotta give a woman her wedding pictures. I don't care much how you don't like her.
They've been in a box since she left.
And all of this. You don't need any of that,
None
right?
of it. None of it.
None of it. Won't do you any good. Make her mad. Don't need it. All of that.
That's the sister.
Joe? Well, I don't want to go there. You? There. Okay. How much are you paying in child support every month, Mrs. Stanley?
Nothing. I'm not allowed to see them. Why should I pay a
I tell
man
her
money
she
that
can come
he's
over
going to
every
use on
day.
his girlfriend's
I tell you
personal
why.
needs?
Because he's raising your children. That's
Not
why.
for long.
I don't care. I don't care. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean you don't have a financial obligation to the children that you have. You must
have everything they need.
No,
With
no.
me.
No. Mrs. Stanley, if they got them, they're putting food in their stomach, clothes on their back, shoes on their feet, roof over their head, electricity for heat, and you, just like he would if you have them, obligation to pay for part of that. Now, if you got a problem with seeing them, you toddle right on down there to court and get court-ordered visitation. Move forward.
In fact, I even told her...
No. And you know how you can help her, Mr. Stanley? It's to
Staying in my
stop.
life.
Stop saying negative things. Stop being...
Oh,
No, you were just about to now.
I told her she could
Yeah.
have them throughout the whole summer.
You're still telling me how wrong she is. See, that's what I'm trying to say. That day has ended. You with me?
Yeah.
You hearing me? You've got your pictures. Love them, cherish them, be happy, and move from today forward. Today forward. You got that?
Yeah.
No other recovery other than possession of the pictures is awarded. It is so ordered.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
No, he works because he wants to, because them are
No,
his
he
kids.
don't.
He
They're
supplies
not his
everything.
kids.
Yes, they are.
They are
And
mine.
they're
How do
You figure they ain't mine.
No, they're not.
Who's
Yeah,
the one
they
that takes
are.
care of them?
I'm the one that takes care of them.
from me. There's a difference.
I tell you, you can come over and see them every day if you want. When have you made
Yeah,
an effort?
right.
But you can go half a block down the street and go hang out with friends, but you can't come to my house?
What?
Yeah.
David, you think that you know me so well.
All right.
Well, how do you know somebody that you were married to for 6 years were around
You guys
for
were
one?
together for 5.
You were around for one and decided to sleep with whatever.
Just like you.